Hello and welcome back to Cuphead, where last time we began our adventures in Inkwell Isle 2, and today we will be continuing our adventures in Inkwell Isle 2, and we're going to be beginning with a quick little trip down to the Mausoleum right over here. You may remember this from the first world, Inkwell Isle 1. The Mausoleum is, as you may recall, a quick test of our parrying skills, so we are going to be equipping the automatic parry to make this just a little bit easier for us. Now, there is one additional goal that we're going to be doing for this Mausoleum. A little challenge, if I do say so myself, to parry 4 times before we hit the ground. Now, there is a method to the madness, as usual. There is a reason why I'm requesting that you do this challenge now, and I'm going to explain it afterwards. But for now, we're just going to go into Mausoleum 2 and parry our way to success. But regardless, I'll say this, regardless of whether or not you manage to parry 4 times before we hit the ground, you will get another super art, regardless of whether or not you manage to pull this off. But basically, in order to accomplish this challenge, you want to try to wait for as long as possible. I think that was my chance to get it right there. Wait for as long as possible before going in for the parry, so that you can try to wait for more ghosts to fill up on the screen. I think that was probably my chance, the one where I almost got 4. That was probably my chance. I might get another one here coming up, excuse me, here pretty soon. That was, okay, this might be right here. Let's try 1, 2, 3, dash, 4. There we go. 4 times before we hit the ground. 4 parries in a row. Now, you may be wondering why I tried to do that, and like I said, I will explain afterwards. Really, the key is just waiting to parry, like standing here and waiting for ghosts to get towards the center, because the more ghosts come toward the center, the more will ultimately get on screen, and the more ghosts are on screen, the greater chance you'll have to nail all 4, in a row before you hit the ground. So, yeah, just a little challenge for you to do. You can do it later, and it will be much easier to do later, but I like to try to get it out of the way now, because it is possible to do in this Mausoleum. It's not possible in the first Mausoleum, but in this Mausoleum it is possible, so I recommend trying to do it now. Anyway, thank goodness you came by. Those lousy ghosts had me but good that time. Here's the last magical super art I was able to find for you. Well, time for me to take a powder. Good luck! Alright, so we now have our second super art of the game. You may remember the first one was a high energy beam, and that is still the more powerful of the two, because the second one is Invincibility. Now you may say, well, that sounds strange. How could this possibly be more powerful than literal invincibility? Because it doesn't last very long. I think it lasts for maybe a little less than 5 seconds, give or take, which does have its uses. I'll say this: there are instances throughout the game where invincibility will save your life, and I'll be sure to point them out as we come across them. But for the time being, we're going to want to stick with Super Art 1. It's going to help us out a lot. Actually, you know what? I think we might yeah, actually, never mind. I lied. We're actually going to use Invincibility right now. It's going to be the next thing we use in the next level coming up right ahead. So, what we're going to want to do is we're going to have the Chaser Shot equipped, and we're going to have a Spread Shot in our back pocket, just in case. And we're going to equip our new Super Invincibility. And for our charm, I recommend Smoke Bomb. It doesn't make too big of a difference, but this is my personal preference. Anyway, you may have wondered why I requested that we do the 4 parries in a row challenge. Well, I'm about to explain why. Because if you talk to this guy over here, he says this: "Hey, I heard you managed to parry 4 times in a row. I'll bet you're so proud you could bust. Here's a coin to reward your persistence, boys. Don't spend it all in one place now." You get a gold coin as a reward for completing the 4 parries in a row challenge. Now, of course, you can do this in the Mausoleum in Inkwell Isle 3, and it's much easier there, but it is possible in this Mausoleum, so I recommend trying to do it now. Now, you may also remember in Inkwell Isle 1 when I told you guys to take a little shortcut around so that we could reach the second run-and-gun level early. Another reason I told you to do that is because if we go talk to this person, she'll say, "You can't catch me. I'll let you take a shortcut. That's what some punk kids did last week. It's the only way they could beam me to the rides. Say, maybe you can show me where the shortcut is around here?" Well, we did that already, so we talked to... Wait, what? What? We took a shortcut. Okay, well, we did take a shortcut. You saw we took a shortcut, but clearly the game didn't register that we took a shortcut. So, if the same thing happens to you, then you want to do is you want to walk around behind the mountain, like so. Just take a long walk all the way around here. I'm just holding right on the control stick if you're curious. And then after you complete that lap, then if we go back and talk to her, she should give us a coin. That's weird. She should have given us a coin for completing the shortcut in Inkwell Isle 1, but I don't know. I guess the game is just having a rough day. Anyway, let's go talk to you. "Thanks, fellas. I knew there was a faster way across the island. Now I'll be first on all the rides again. Here, take this coin as a way of saying thanks." I don't actually know that would be faster to go behind the mountain to leave the fair to reach the rides, but whatever. He gave us a coin, so that's all that really matters. So yeah, now we can actually go to the shop and buy some things. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to wait until after we complete the next running level, because then we're going to have a lot of coins to work with. One final thing you can do that's kind of a bonus is if you talk to this Barber Shop Quartet, or I should say trio, because they are missing one of their members, they'll say, "Whoever heard of a Barber Shop trio? If we can't find our 4th member, we'll never sound right again. Be a pal, let us know we spot him, won't you? Well, if you want to find the Barber Shop Quartet, or sorry, the fourth member of the Barber Shop Quartet, you'll find him hiding out behind this tent right over here. There he is. At last, I thought I'd never see another living soul again. I lost my way while searching for coins. No one has money for haircuts these days, thanks to that blasted casino. Well, better get back to my pals in the quartet. Now, he doesn't give you a coin, unfortunately, but, I'll tell you what, once we manage to beat all the bosses in Inkwell Isle 2, if we go to the Barber Shop Quartet, they'll have a little surprise for us. You can talk to them now if you want to hear the song early, but I'm going to save the song that they sing as kind of a reward for beating Inkwell Isle 2, wouldn't you say? Anyway, regardless of not all that's out of the way, we can finally start our first level of the video, almost 6 minutes into it. Funfair Fever, the second run-and-gun level of Inkwell Isle 2. Let's get started. Alright, so first things first, you want to dash all the way past here and bounce off the trampoline on top of this platform right here. Then sit here and just play the waiting game for a little bit until you see a pink balloon come in. When you see a pink balloon, you want to jump off and parry it 5 times in a row so that you can fully fill up, your super meter. Because obviously one parry equals one super card filled up, and we want to have our parry meter filled up nice and early so we don't have to worry about it for the rest of the level. And as you may recall, we have Invincibility now. And you may be wondering why we would need such a thing. Well, I will be happy to explain to you why we would need such a thing. Because there's a little something that's going to happen later in this level that's going to be made much easier by the use of Invincibility. Anyway, we have smoke bombs so that we can dash past these guys, and you saw me collect some coins earlier, it's pretty easy. This part can be a little bit tough. Basically, there's going to be balls that got shot off from a distance, and they can go 3 levels, high, middle, or low. So the next one's going to go high, so we're going to drop low. The next one's probably going to go low, so we're going to go middle, and then we're going to go back up high, so the next one is going to be middle, and it's going to hit us there. So basically, 3 levels it can hit, and you want to make sure you're not on the level that it hits. Pretty simple. And you can see it's a nice little pattern. So it follows a consistent pattern every single time that you can predict and learn from. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump, and then dash to get past this one, and then once that platform comes back, we're going to jump down to this bottom level, like so, to grab this coin right here. Then jump and dash past here to land on this top platform. The long way, oh wait, I knew you were going to shoot the middle one next, didn't want to fall off there. Basically, you just want to sit here and shoot it down with the spread shot. It's the easy way to take it out. You can dash through it technically, but we're not going for P rank, so we don't really need to. It's easier to shoot it down with the spread shot. What is not easy to defeat, however, is this stupid slot machine right here. Use your invincibility right now to hop right over it, and you don't have to deal with it at all. It is a major pain in the rear end to have to shoot that thing down, so it is much, much easier to just go ahead and skip on right past it. And you can skip right past these things as well if you want, but the easy way is just equip the chaser shot and use it against all these things. Now, the pies themselves aren't actually going to be what gets you killed here. The things going to get you killed are going to be the condiments that the hot dog at the end of this platform is firing at you. And in any other game, that would be an absurd sentence to say out loud, but in Cuphead, it fits right at home with this game. So yeah, just make sure you steer clear of the condiments that are being flung your way, and then when you get close enough, you can use the spread shot to take out the hot dog a bit more easily. If you have a spare hit point, you can take the hit and then just dash right past it, but we do not have the hit to spare because we only have 1 hit point, so we had to sit there and take it out with the spread shot. But yeah, not too bad of a level. Pretty easy, pretty fun as well. The run-and-gun levels are probably the weakest part of the game, I'll say. Like, they're not all great. There are some in World 3 that are kind of eh. But, you know, the game's not perfect, obviously. The run-and-gun levels are the reason why, is because, you know, some of them could be better than they are, but by and large, they're still fairly enjoyable. But obviously, the bosses are still the highlight of the game. They're out of this world. Anyway, A-. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. Okay, so now we have 14 coins to work with, which is the most we're ever going to have. I guess technically we could wait until we get to the end of the game, or I guess we could have waited until we get to the end of the game to have a total of all 40 coins, but that will require not upgrading anything, and I don't plan on doing that. So we're gonna go to the shop and start buying some things. We need some very specific things coming up ahead. So the first thing we need to buy is the lobber, because we're gonna need that coming up ahead. Then we need to buy the coffee. Then we need to buy the charge shot, and beyond that, you can pretty much you don't need to buy anything else. The next thing we can buy that is of value to us is this. You may be wondering why am I not buying an extra hit point? Well, it's because for every extra hit point you get, you lose attack power. So it's not worth it, because you end up spending, yes, you have more hits to take, but you end up spending more time in the level anyway because you take less, you deal less damage, so it's not worth it in the end. If you're starting out, I could recommend it, but even still, I would still say it's worth it to try to. It's worth it to try to just do it with the base amount of damage, base amount of health, because it's a lot more. The boss will be over quicker if you don't use extra hit points. So yeah, the reason why we need the lobber shot is because it's going to be very, very helpful and almost essential, actually, for dealing with the final boss of this of Inkwell Isle Two, and this is going to be pivotal for helping us beat the first boss of World 3, the Inkwell Isle 3, I should say. And the final attack can be helpful for for the final boss of Inkwell Isle 2, but it's not essential. So we'll get into that as we go on further. We don't need Invincibility anymore. We're going to switch back to Energy Beam. And the reason why we bought Coffee, you may be wondering, why did you bother buying this? Super Meter continuously fills in addition to what you earn. Well, the reason why is because when we're in the plane stages, there are no charms that can help us. Because we can't dash and we can't parry. Well, I mean we can parry, but pressing the A button, like there's no jumping, so it's still pointless. But Coffee will automatically fill our super meter, so we can get the mega super faster, which means we can fire more of them off, which is extremely helpful in plane levels. So we're gonna want to make sure we equip that first and foremost. Now we're gonna head back across the bridge, and if you remember, we talked to this guy last episode, and he gave us a secondary method of attack for our plane, which is going to be pivotal for this next boss. It's because it is a plane boss. It's not technically required, but it may as well be. It helps out a lot. Anyway, let's take on the next boss, Wally Warbles, in aviary action. Our first boss of the episode, if you can believe it. Alright, phase 1, stick to the left side of the arena and then just follow his movements. If he moves up, you move up as well. If he moves down, you move down as well, so you can keep the trajectory lined up. You can also try to fire some, because your Coffee will be helping you fill your super meter very quickly, you can just continuously fire these bullet bill type things at him. And if you can get close enough, you can also parry the pink birds to try to help fill your super meter even faster. And then, of course, dodging all the things he fires at you will be trivial. Now, when he fires feathers at you, don't pay attention to anything other than where your character is sitting. Damage is secondary. All that matters is just keeping your eye on your character so that you know how close you are to the feathers, so you know what you have to dodge. Also, don't be afraid to shrink. It is extremely helpful in dodging all the feathers. But yeah, bottom line is just keep your eye on your character and only focus on the feathers immediately around you. Now, this thing. Go dash inside his little circle of protection, and then use the super attack on him immediately. Because of the Coffee, you should have already gathered up enough points to be able to use the super meter right away. After you do the first one, get out of the circle as quickly as you possibly can, and then get ready to parry as soon as you see him pull out his gun. Parry the second afterwards, just in case. He missed me with that one, but sometimes he has a direct hit on you with that. So you gotta be ready to parry it like that, because you have very, very little time to react. Also, do not use any more super moves on this guy. You have to save every single super meter you have for the final wave, which should be easy because he keeps constantly firing parry shots at you, so it's easy to parry them. But this last phase is awful. What just killed me? I genuinely have no clue what I died to there. I didn't see anything on the screen, but maybe there was a stray, spike or something. Anyway, when I say it was awful, I don't mean it's badly constructed. I don't mean it's badly constructed. I mean it's really, really hard, because you have to use the secondary attack for this because of the trajectory of where he's sitting. And then it's just really hard to dodge all the projectiles. But what makes this easier is using the mega super attack that you charged up from that last phase. That will make this much, much easier to do. If you charge it up like I told you to in the last phase, then that'll make this final phase much easier, because you can get it done super, super quickly. So the longer you're in that phase, the greater risk you have of dying, because it is really hard to dodge all those projectiles. If you don't have it charged up for some reason, then you want to try to stay in the middle area when he's to the left-hand side, and the second he gets anywhere near the right side of the screen, go to the far left and go high enough so that the trajectory of your secondary attack will land on him, so that you're far away from any of the projectiles and you have more room to move around. Because getting caught between those two cannon things that are launching projectiles up is not a great spot to be in, but it's the only spot you can be in to safely attack him from when he's too far to the left of the screen. Anyway, there's a soul contract for I don't know what I was going to say there, for Wally Warbles. I think I was going to say Woolly Warbles, like a sheep. Woolly Warbles. Anyway, so now we only have one more boss to do in Inkwell Isle 2, and once we beat that, we will get to hear a little song from our Barber Shop Quartet. And it's the Dragon. You may have heard about this boss, even if you haven't played this game, you've probably heard about it. This is maybe not the hardest in the game, but it's up there. If it's not the hardest, it's like top 3 in terms of difficult bosses in this game. So, you want the lobber shot, and you want the chaser in your secondary shot. And then for your super, you want the energy beam, because you're gonna need to do a lot of damage really quickly. And then for the charm, honestly, I recommend you leave it as Coffee. It may seem counterintuitive, but Smoke Bomb isn't really going to help you here, and neither is Automatic Parry. You really want Coffee, because you want to be able to get your super meter charged up as fast as possible. Anyway, with all that said and done, I'm I'm gonna warn you now, this boss is no cakewalk. It is, without a doubt, one of, if not the hardest in the entire game. In fact, now I'm thinking about it, it may be the hardest boss in the entire game. So, brace yourselves. It's gonna be a doozy. Grim Matchstick in Fiery Frolic. First things first, gonna try to throw some, or shoot some blazes out of his eyes. You wanna make sure to try to parry them if you can, because they're gonna be your only chances for quite a while to actually parry something. Then he's gonna throw some fireballs at you, which are pretty easy to dodge because they go in a very predictable pattern. The thing that's gonna get you here is the dragon tail at the bottom of the screen, so just make sure you pay attention to where that's gonna come up, and then just stay clear of it while dodging the meteor. And other than that, this first phase isn't honestly that bad. Just keep moving, just jump with the clouds, and keep holding down the X button to fire away as fast as possible. Watch out for the tail, and jump over the meteors when possible. Here, turn your attention to the left side of the screen. This is why we want the lobber, because it lands in the perfect trajectory to hit the dragon. But also keep an eye on the flames at the bottom of the screen, because some of them are going to get angry and crouch down, and when they crouch down, that means they're getting ready to jump up towards the clouds. And when they do that, they are going to aim straight for you. They know exactly where you are and where you want to go, so you want to be very cautious to where you, whenever you see those flames. Now, this has been easy so far, but this is where it gets hard, is this final phase. So immediately, turn around and use the super right away. Get as much damage done as fast as possible. Then just keep jumping back like this, with the chaser shot, because because the dragon's outside the screen now, your focus needs to be on moving away from the dragon like this. And then fire off one of your super moves whenever you can. You want to try to do as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible, when that fire hose is out, because it means they're not going to be throwing any orange balls at you. But as soon as the orange balls start coming out, you just want to run away as fast as possible, and hope that the chaser shot is going to do damage quickly. And then wait for the fire hose to come out again, do more damage with the lobber, and eventually, with enough persistence, you will be able to take out the dragon, just like that. Now, honestly, that wasn't that bad. That could have been a lot worse. And I can almost guarantee you won't do that first try, because that boss is really, really tough. But if you do, you should be very, very accomplished. You should feel very accomplished, because that boss is really, really hard. Specifically, that final phase. Phase 1 and 2 are pretty alright, but Phase 3 is when things get kicked up to 11, so... But with that, if you can tackle the dragon, then you are ready for whatever World 3, whatever Inkwell Isle 3 has to throw your way. So that is it for Inkwell Isle 2, and before we head to the die house to go to Inkwell Isle 3, as promised, I have a nice little reward for you all. A song from the Cuphead Barber Shop Quartet. It's nice to rest your eyes and maybe go outside. Grab a book and get some air. So what are you waiting for? Why not take a quick break? Tune the radio. There's chores to do, there's leaves to rake. Strum the old banjo. You can practice your Lindy Hop. And maybe later sing with your barber shop. Why not take a little quick break and come back for more? Or then come back for more. Or please come back for more. Nice little reward for conquering all that Inkwell Isle 2 has to throw at you. And now, we're ready to head to the die house and gain access to Inkwell Isle 3. Just as a gentle reminder, Cuphead music is amazing. Looks like I might underestimated you bums. You gave it to them debtors, but good. Go on over to the next island. Lots of fun times waiting for you there. Ha 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 ha. Alright, see you later, King Dice. We'll catch up with you in the end. Alright, let's head to Inkwell Isle 3. The little mugs have some fight in them, I'll say that much. They're making mincemeat out of them debtors. You see, I knew there was something special about those fellas. Well, don't be too sure just yet, boss. I think there's something fishy about those two. Don't blow your wig, Dice. If those two little finks try anything, I'll be waiting. Alright. Wait, music? Cuphead's music is so good. Alright, Inkwell Isle 3. A lot of really hard bosses. A lot of really challenging levels. Back to back to back. Get ready, because the worst, or the best, is yet to come. When I say worst, by the way, I don't mean the worst levels. I mean, like, the hardest times are ahead. The hardest times have yet to come. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more Cuphead. Goodbye.